We are fully into NFL Week 9. Man, I am excited for some like cold weather games, man. I feel like we've been watching the NFL these last 8 weeks, and the weather's been like, I don't know if I've seen like a real nasty weather game yet. And I'm excited to see some snow and some of that just like gritty NFL, NFL film style just out in the snow. So I'm hoping we starting to get some of that, honestly. I was thinking about that this week of like the weather's been too nice. It's been too nice. Like, let's get some like real nasty games going.
Is there weather in the forecast for any of these? Because
no, this is literally just Eric's.
I was like,
this is
I'm
Eric's
even less
random
prepared
thoughts.
than I thought.
No, Eric's random thoughts. They're not
Okay.
even affecting our. That's the thing is like we haven't talked about it with betting. It's not been like, oh, there's this storm, because usually it kind of starts in hurricane season and you get storms that can affect, and like we haven't talked about any of that stuff, right? So I don't know. I'm hoping this probably is not the week. But I'm hoping we start to see. This is Eric's random thoughts of the day. We're getting really late into the season to not have had some weather at all, right?
Yeah.
So, and maybe part of that is so many teams have moved into domes, but whatever.
Also, global warming, Eric,
and global warming. All right, let's not talk about your political theories, okay?
I mean, who actually even believes in global warming in the Big 25?
It's a lot of sarcasm. Speaking of. We are over on RotoViz right now. You might be listening to us there on RotoViz. If you are, go check us out on YouTube, Instagram, other places to get your podcasts. If you're listening to us on those places, go check out RotoViz. It's a great fantasy football tool, for your fantasy football needs, but you can look at things for player props and those kind of things too to help you with just data and those things if you really like to dive into that stuff. So go check that out. We're going to start talking. How we do this is we do our game picks first, and then we have the second half of the show is player props only. And of course, we'll run it down at the end. So if you want to fast forward and not listen to us, that's totally fine by us. All right, let us dive in. Hold on 1 second.
God bless you, sir.
It's an unfiltered live show when the host has to sneeze. So, all right. Let's go ahead and let's kick this off with Stefan. You're liking the Colts this week. This is a game I stayed away from, so I want to hear about it. They do look great, and I think so. I don't mean to steal your thunder, but I think I think we're just so not used to the Colts actually being good that even at this point we're having a hard time believing it. So tell us about it.
It's two things. I mean, whenever I can pick against the Steelers, I will.
Preach.
So we've got that going for us. I say that a week after backing the Steelers and losing. So, easy for me to switch now. Colts have been good, man. Daniel Jones is doing enough to win games. He looks like he's in the race for MVP right now, which is wild. Jonathan Taylor continues to dominate. I think he's hit his rushing prop like every week other than the weeks we bet it, which was week 1.
Sounds about right.
So he's looked really, really good. Michael Pittman has come on this year. Tyler Warren is a revelation. I think the Colts are really, really good. Being on the road at Pittsburgh is not ideal, but the line is only 3. I like it an awful lot. I think the public is going to back this side as well. I think it's going to be a fairly popular play, so maybe get it before it moves to 3.5. Just like this one, I think Colts can continue with their winning streak, move to 8-1. It's getting a nice. I mean, the thing for the Colts is being able to avoid road trips to Buffalo or Kansas City in late December, probably ideal. Stay at home, stay in that dome. So getting home field advantage throughout the playoffs, I think, is really important. So they need to continue winning.
Yeah, I'm also on this play. And Eric, you may be slow to buy into the Colts, but I am not.
Good.
They've scored less than 29 points once this entire season.
That's crazy.
The Steelers have cleared that number twice, and that was against the Jets and the Bengals, 2 of the worst defenses in the league. Outside of that, they're only averaging 22 points a game. For me, this is simple. I don't think the Steelers are going to be able to do enough offensively to keep up because their defense has gone back to being trash. They kind of tricked us and started looking good for 2 weeks, and they got a couple of injuries in the secondary. Now they can't do anything. Jordan Love just absolutely torched them last week for like 325 yards, but Pitt's also allowing 4.5 yards a carry on the ground. I think Daniel Jones does what he needs to do through the air, and JT keeps rolling. I like this. This might be a ladder play for me, but -3 feels real nice.
I like that. I think like the part I like is that I was really doubtful the Steelers would be that good. So I guess I'll compare this to like a lot of people have talked shit about the Broncos not being as good as their record is, but I feel like no one has talked about the Steelers being not as good as their record is, and I feel like that's maybe starting to show up. So I do like this.
Okay.
All right, Stefan, because you have a heavier load of picks, why don't you tell us about Mike's Falcons? And I actually agree with this. And it's like more of a superstition that I've been on the Patriots so much the last 4 or 5 weeks and made a lot of money that it's kind of time to go the other way. So that's so you go for it.
Yeah. I do carry a heavy load, as you said. I love the NFL almost as much as I love college football because the NFL just loves to, like, the second you think you know something.
Yep.
Nah. So we were back in the Falcons for a while, and then all of a sudden they look like hot garbage. The Patriots look like one of the best teams in the NFL. So naturally, the Falcons travel to New England. We're going to take the Falcons +6 because it's the NFL. I just think we're buying the Patriots. Like, if you're backing the Patriots, you're buying them at a season high. If you're fading the Falcons, you're fading them at a season low. I don't like to do that. I like to buy low and sell high. So we're going to buy the Falcons while they're at a low point, sell the Patriots while they're at the high point. And Drake May has been awesome this year. Keyshawn Butte looks like he's coming back to life. The running game looks good at times, but I think the Falcons can take care of business. I think Michael Penix is supposed to be back. I think that makes a huge impact on this game, even just from a confidence perspective. I was listening to Mike McClure on his DFS show, and he was talking about how, like, imagine you're Penix and you are winning a couple games, beat the Bills, and all of a sudden you're injured, backup comes in, and your team looks like hot garbage. You're like, man, I'm the guy. I'm Superman. I'm the reason we're winning. I'm going back out there. Dude, this is kind of silly. I do think having a strong leader like Michael Penix, we saw this with Lamar Jackson last night in that game, it can have an impact on the defense as well. When your team is at full health, when your leader is back, when your offense is rolling just a little bit, your defense knows, hey, we're not going to be in a shot to win this game. I think the Falcons will be in a shot not only to cover, but to win this game.
Yeah, I like it. Where Drake May has been so good this year has been especially on the deep ball, but the Falcons have been especially good against the deep ball. And I think your point about the leadership is right. When you have Kirk Cousins, who has been so public about wanting to get the hell out of Atlanta, which I don't blame him, but that's a morale kill whenever you've got to go behind him there.
At least he backed it up with great performance last week.
Oh yeah, so good. It reminded me of last year.
He was so cheap in DFS that, like, I had Joe Flacco in almost all my lineups, and I switched it out for Kirk Cousins in a bunch of them, and that was a massive mistake. Man, I lost. I had a decent day, but I could have had a great day. Oops. So thank you, Cousins.
I want to bring up, like, we talked about this pre-show. Like, I only have 2 picks this week. I feel like I've crushed the NFL this year, and I've been seeing it really well. And this is the first week I really wasn't feeling a lot. And part of that is we have 4 favorites. I think even last night, maybe the Ravens were 9.5 point. Well, whatever. We have 9.5. We have 4 games that are 9.5 to 14.5 point spreads in the NFL this week, and I don't feel good about any of that. So, if you have more of a spine than I do, going and taking all of these, like, double-digit or almost double-digit underdogs in the NFL feels like what you should do. I'm not picking a lot of it, but, like, because I don't love, I love picking favorites like most people do, but, like, man, that's crazy to me. That's a lot of, like, double-digit-ish lines we got going.
I think I went 4-10 betting underdogs last week in the NFL, thinking your line of thinking. I was like, I'm backing the dogs, and it was a terrible mistake.
Last week was like a historical week for the favorites.
Yeah,
so you got to expect a big bounce back for the underdogs here.
Time to swing back the other way. All right, Mike, hit us with your first. I love this bounce back for the Cowboys here.
Yeah, Cowboys team total over 27.5. Dude, they're at home, and if Cowboys do anything at home, it's freaking score points. They've scored over 40 points in every single home game this year. Dak has looked fantastic. He's got Lamb back. Pickens is still doing his thing. Williams is running the ball much better than anybody expected him to. Cards on paper, they've looked fine on defense. I think they're giving up like 21 a game, but they've also had the 30th strength of schedule. The last 2 weeks, they played the Packers and the Colts. Both of these teams scored 27 points in those games. So now you've got the Cowboys at home averaging 40 points a game at home, clearing 27.5 here feels unbelievably easy to me. So I'm going to go and back it. I mean, the Cardinals are also going to score points because the Cowboys can't do crap on defense. So go for the over if you want, but the team total over here feels like the safest play. So minus 125 there.
Yeah, love that. I think they literally just played the best defense in the league last year in Denver, last week in Denver. You know, it's like huge bounce back for the Cowboys. Would love to I think they get into the 30s here. Kind of a situation. All right. You know what? This is kind of the big game. Let's save that Chiefs Bills game, big game of the week. That is one of my picks. But let's talk about the Jaguars. Jags are coming off a bye, and that's why I'm taking them this week against the Raiders. Man, the Raiders look real bad, really, really bad. And I just, I'm really taking this minus 2.5 for the Jags, just off the idea that this is a young team with a lot of talent that really, give them a bye week to gel and regroup everyone. Travis Hunter it was some garbage time, but finally had, I believe, he got his first touchdown and over 100 yards. So you have some players that are, really starting to gel a little bit on this team, and they're just young with a new coach. So a whole bye week to take this talented team who has had flashes of some good spots this year to go against a really bad Raiders team. I'll take the Jags 2.5 this week for sure.
Brock
Any thoughts
Bowers
on your Jaguars, Stefan?
That's my only concern.
What?
Bowers
Brock
and Myers
coming back.
Oh yeah,
Jacoby too.
That's fine. That's fine.
And
Geno
I don't know
Smith
if you
played so bad.
heard,
I don't know.
but Pete Carroll's their coach too, so watch out.
Geno Smith has looked like Geno Smith from the Jets. I don't know what is happening.
It's been bad.
I don't know what is happening. There's Stefan, or actually, let's see what makes sense here.
I've got a team total.
Yeah,
I could
Stefan,
go
why don't
with.
you hit us with a team total over?
Yeah. So the Giants are averaging 30 points a game in their last 3 weeks. They're hosting a really, really beat up San Francisco 49ers team, who we saw just kind of give up the ghost last week. They ended up giving 26 points to Houston of all teams. We actually had a play on the Houston team total under, which did not cash by 2 points. So that was a bummer. 1.5 points, actually. I like the Giants to score 23.5 points in this game. So I'm going to take the team total over. Yeah, Cam Scadaboo's out. He's a very good running back. I think Tyrone Tracy is going to be just fine. I like his rushing prop a little bit at 52.5. But really, I just want to play the points on this one. Jackson Dart's a pretty good quarterback here. I think he's got a fun future. I'm going to be playing him a little bit at DFS. He's really shown us that he can get it done on the run as well. I just don't think 49ers have the personnel with all their injuries to be able to keep the Giants from, 24 points isn't crazy to ask for. So I'm going to do a little Giants team total over 23.5. Yeah, without Malik Neighbors and without Cam Scadaboo. Let's go.
My commentary on the Giants is imagine this, and if you're a Giants fan, you have to just be you actually have hope, and you're like, okay, obviously this is not the year.
Right.
But you get to look ahead to next year and be like, we have a quarterback, Scadaboo, and Neighbors, and a wide receiver core next year. I love shitting on Cowboys fans. So I'm sorry if you're a Cowboys fan and you're like, we now have Jaden Daniels, we have Jackson Dart, and an up and coming Cowboys team in our division, staring straight at us. Sorry, Cowboys fans, you are not getting an easy division here for the next handful of years, and I kind of love it. I kind of love it. All right, let's move on. Mike, hit us. We're talking about the Lions, and Lions at home are just absolute monsters at home, man. So tell us about it.
Yeah, they're absolute monsters at home, and now they get to play JJ McCarthy in his third ever start. That's just, I don't know. In my brain, JJ is still a rookie. I know he's sat for a year, but he looked like a rookie in his first 2 games. So I'm just going to fade the young quarterback until I'm proven that I shouldn't. You add that with how good the Lions are at home. I think this could be a massive blowout, if I'm honest. So go ahead and give me 8.5 there.
Lions got to go get that home field advantage for the playoffs, man, because they will, I think, make the Super Bowl if they get it, because that's just how good they are at home. You put them on the road, and all of a sudden, well, yeah, I don't know, they got to get through the Eagles and blah, 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 all whatever. But, you give me Lions home field advantage in the playoffs, and I don't know if they're not making the Super Bowl this year. That's great. All right. Game of the week. Actually, no. Yeah, let's talk about the game of the week, and then we'll get to the Sunday night game. So we stay like somewhat in chronological order here. So biggest game of the week is Chiefs and Bills. You have to take this from me with a grain of salt for those who are listening, right? Because like there is not a bigger Chiefs hater than myself. As a Broncos fan, I need them to lose this game so that the Broncos have a really good chance at winning the AFC West. So like I need this in my life and for my mental health. I'm taking the Bills money line. Just give me the Bills straight up against the Chiefs in Buffalo. I don't so the Chiefs to me, what was my note here? I had a note. The Chiefs have not actually won or played any real road competition this year. All of their big wins, and they beat good teams. Like I'm not gonna like they beat the Lions in Kansas City. Like I get it, but they have not played real road competition. And I guess you could say if they did, it was in Brazil week 1, and they lost to the Chargers. So like they just haven't been challenged. I'm not convinced the Chiefs are as dominant as they've looked the last couple weeks, getting to beat up on a couple injured teams. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Bills at home. I think Josh Allen is clicking. They're going to be fired up. And look, if you get to the Bills and Chiefs in the playoffs, there is no world I'm taking the Bills over the Chiefs because of history. But in the regular season, like, yeah, give me the Bills here at home.
Yeah, the Bills have won their last 4 regular season games against the Chiefs. So everything you said, I agree with. I've got the Bills plus 7.5 as a leg in a parlay here, just because that feels unbelievably safe to me.
And to be fair, all the Chiefs fans in your life are going to be so annoying this week because they will say, we don't even care about the regular season anyways. And they're not wrong, which is like kind of the most annoying part.
Yeah, the difference there is I don't have any Chiefs fans in my life, so I'm okay
I have too
with
many. All
Smart.
right, hit us with the other side.
Wise choices, Mike.
Yeah, right. I've got that with the Rams minus 6.5. They're at home against the Saints. It's Tyler Shuck's first official start, and like I said, against JJ McCarthy, and like we have made money on many times on the show, but against the rookie quarterback making his first start. The Rams in general have looked really good. Eric, I was with you in terms of we've got to stop fading the Saints at some point, because at some point they're going to win, and it's the NFL. It's not going to be this week with Shuck at first start on the road against a great NFC team here. So that's it. That's my only reasoning. So that parlay there. So Bills plus 7.5 with the Rams minus 6.5 is minus 132.
I like the under in that game too, not a play, but for the same reason.
Yeah.
It's Tyler Shuck. The reason I don't want that to be an official play is I could see him maybe handing some short fields to the Rams. So I could see the Rams having a comfortable one. I like the Rams and DFS for a defensive play too. Yep. So I'm on your side on this one too.
I don't know what it's at, but I also like Shuck over 0.5 interceptions. Whatever that ends up playing out to be, but that wasn't available when I was looking yesterday.
I love that. Maybe I'll build a little underdog lineup and put that in there. All right. I can feel Stefan gravitating back towards his old team. Last game pick of the week for us, but I can feel Stefan, his Seahawks fandom is like coming back to life, and it kind of should be, honestly, man. You were such a fan for such a long time. It's kind of coming back.
I mean, we saw what happened in that second half versus the Chiefs. Commanders just really fell apart. Yes, that was Mariota. Jaden Daniels is expected back, but I mean, Jaden Daniels doesn't look, and I know he's been banged up, but that's kind of my point. Like, he doesn't look like the same MVP caliber player that he had been last year. So even with him back, I don't really see the Commanders being able to put up a huge fight here. Seattle's look really good at times. I don't love traveling to the East Coast, but it being a Sunday night game, body clock issues shouldn't be a problem. It's a 6:20 kick. Well, 8:20 kick Eastern time. I just like Mike McDonald's defense being able to kind of slow down this Commanders offense, which hasn't been great anyway. I mean, they've had a lot of injuries, and I think that's part of the problem. So we're just going to back Seattle Seahawks here on the road at -3.
Love it. Let's get into some player props. I'm going to go ahead and pull these up on the screen for us so you can see them. We're going to talk through. I don't have any player props this week, but Mike, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, I'll start with my gross one. I'm gonna go Kyler Murray 2+ passing touchdowns. I don't like backing Kyler Murray because it's very rarely a good decision. But kind of like what we talked about a minute ago with the Dallas team, is that Dallas cannot stop anybody to save their life. I don't care who it is. They're allowing 2 touchdowns a game. Kyler Murray's already thrown
Yes,
for 2+ touchdowns a game
I
in
like it.
half of his games already. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that -143.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like a good Kyler Murray against the worst defense prop. All right, Stefan, what about you? What you got?
Well, real quick, Tyler Shuck to throw in interceptions at -170. So
Eh,
unless you want to add that as a leg of a parlay, probably a bit steep. My
yep.
favorite play of the week is a Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown.
Okay.
We just talked about this Chiefs Bills game. Kareem Hunt was already getting the high value touches near the goal line for the Chiefs. Now Pacheco is out. I just think he's going to be highly utilized in the red zone. Didn't mean anytime touchdown at +120. It just feels like the number's off. It feels like it should be
Yeah.
-120. I just think there's a better than 50% chance that Kareem Hunt scores a touchdown in a game that is projected to have a pretty big, pretty healthy total of 52, 53 points. So we
Yeah.
expect there to be points. We expect each team to score about 4 touchdowns. I imagine Kareem Hunt scores one of them.
Yeah.
And I
like
think
that.
the Chiefs win, but I'm not officially playing it. But
Yeah,
whatever.
I might like a Mahomes rushing touchdown as a sneaky one too. All right, Mike, what's your next one?
Going back to Danny Dimes again, man. Daniel Jones
Yes.
over 250 passing yards, -114. He gets Pitt this week. We talked earlier about how bad Pitt secondary has been. They've given up 273 yards a game. Jordan Love just torched him for 325 last week. DJ himself is averaging over 250 on the season as it is without playing the bad defense. So I think, they're going to want to rely on JT as they always do, but Pitt's rushing defense has actually been really good. It's just their secondary that sucks so bad. So I think they're going to take advantage of that. And he's easily going to clear 250 here. I like all the receivers. I like Michael Pittman. Downs is out, so maybe a dart throw and some of the other deep threats there. But yeah, man, over 250 is easy for me at -114.
Man, just keep going back. So someday they'll make that high enough, but today is not that day. All right, Stefan, back to you.
Yeah, sorry. I was just taking a quick peek because I liked that play so much with Daniel Jones. You can get him his rushing and throwing at 267. I like that too.
Yeah.
But
Ooh, I
he
like
hasn't
that
been
too. Yeah.
running all that much. I'm going to go back to that Chiefs game. You mentioned Mahomes. Mahomes has cleared this rushing prop in 6 of 8 games this year. The only times he hasn't were in those Chiefs blowout wins. His rushing prop is over 27.5. He's been running a lot this year, and in a game that's going to be, we expect, highly competitive versus the Bills, he's going to have to keep drives alive. I think he's going to be running for first downs quite a bit. Don't think this is one of the Eric Doran specials where he can get it on one play. I don't think we're going to see a 28-yard run from Pat, but I think he runs the ball 5 times, and
Yeah.
I like this over 27.5. It's not a nothing number, but I also kind of like Drake May's rushing prop. I kind of like Jackson Dart's rushing prop, but we're going to go with Mahomes for the official play for the week.
Yeah, especially down a running back, right? Like he's gonna need to get some of those rushing yards, like for sure. I like that as well. All right, Mike, go back to we're going back to your Georgia homer picks here with your Swift pick.
Yeah, man. DeAndre Swift over 60.5 rushing yards, -105. He's playing the Bengals, and they're allowing the most yards to running backs than anybody else in the league at 150 plus yards a game. Swift has looked really solid throughout the year. He had a down game last week, but prior to that, he had declared 100 yards 2 weeks in a row. I like a big bounce back here, especially against the Bengals. I don't think they're going to put the game on Caleb Williams' back because they don't have to. So Swift over 60.5. I'm all over this one.
Awesome. I like that too, for sure, especially there at home. All right. Stefan, reigning Heisman Trophy winner, got his first touchdown before the bye week. Tell us about Travis Hunter.
Yeah, you mentioned Jacksonville coming off a bye. There is a wide receiver post-bye rookie bump that I went to buy this week.
Yep.
Buy BYE and buy BUY. just so you know. So we're going to take
You're missing
Travis
your
Hunter.
third bye there.
Yeah,
I love it.
Travis Hunter, anytime touchdown plus 250. I just think the number's delightful.
Yeah.
We've seen Travis Hunter become more and more involved in this offense. I
Made some
believe he had
catches, man. Yeah.
and what I really liked is he had a 90% route participation rate last week. So he was out there on passing downs, which is what we really want to see. Brian Thomas Jr. has had a bit of a sluggish start. Maybe our expectations were too high in his sophomore year. But man, Travis Hunter seems to be growing into this offense. I like what they're doing with Parker Washington. Most people listening are just now saying, wait, Parker Washington and De'Ami Brown are both on the Jags. I don't think that's who you want to highlight on this offense when you have Travis Hunter getting more and more comfortable in the NFL. I think this game could see some points. I think Hunter could be a good part of that. And at plus 250, it just feels like, of course I'm going to play this. Thought about doing this as a side piece, but you know what? I need to catch up. We're going to just do a full unit. Full play, plus 250. Let's go, Travis.
I love it. You got to take a swing sometimes, and I love when those hit. All right, Mike, take us home with 2 more props for us.
Yeah, we're going to go to the Vikings game. We're going to go Aaron Jones under 33.5 rushing yards against the Lions. Some of the rushing unders have been real nice to me the last few weeks. So I'm going to keep that rolling here. We talked about why the Lions are going to run away with the game. With them running away with the game, they're not going to be able – the Vikings aren't going to be able to run the ball. And Aaron Jones has played 3 games. He was injured for the center part of the season there, and he has not cleared 25 rushing yards yet. So I don't see his first game happening against the Lions team here. So give me that at minus 114. And then I'll finish it up with Kamani Vidal over 16.5 carries at minus 133. Since Vidal stepped in, he's been great. I threw shade on him after his first breakout game, and I was wrong, thankfully, because I've got him in 3 fantasy leagues. He has hit over 16.5 carries in 2 of his 3 games so far. The one he didn't was with the Colts when their game script had to change because they were playing keep up. So I think they put the ball back on the ground here against a bad team. I forget exactly who they're playing, but it was not a happy or it was a happy game script. So I think they're going to leave it on the ground. They're over 16.5 carries, minus 133. Oh, the Titans. That's who they're playing. They're playing the Titans, and their run defense is terrible.
Yeah, absolutely. And everything on the Titans is terrible. Absolutely everything. All right, let's run it down. We're talking about NFL Week 9. Hopefully you made it to the end. Go check us out on RotoViz and go check us out on YouTube, Instagram, and wherever you get your podcasts. Week 9 NFL game picks, and then we'll talk player props.
Quick question for you. You said hopefully you made it to the end. Who are you saying that to? Because if they heard you say it, they made it to the end.
You could have fast forwarded it.
No,
you could have dropped off early, but yeah,
I gotta give you shit every once in a while because you do such a great job hosting that I do like to tease you from time to time.
The hosting mannerisms just have to be what they are. They don't have to make sense.
You
All
crush
right,
it.
Stefan, hit us with your game pick summary.
Yes, we're going to go Colts -3 at the Steelers. We're going to go Seahawks -3 at the Commanders. We're going to take the Falcons +6 at the Patriots. And then we're going to take the New York Giants team total over 23.5 points.
I've got the Dallas Cowboys team total over 27.5. Lions -8.5 at home against the Vikings. Colts -3 on the road at the Steelers, and then a parlay of the Bills +7.5 with the Rams -6.5 at minus 132.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bills straight up to win against the Chiefs, and then the Jaguars -2.5 at the Las Vegas Raiders. Stefan, why don't you run down player props for us?
Yeah, in that Chiefs-Bills game, we're going to take Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown at +120. And we're also going to take Patrick Mahomes over 27.5 rushing yards. And then we're going to take Travis Hunter anytime touchdown at +250.
And I'll wrap us up. I've got Kyler Murray 2+ passing touchdowns at minus 143. DeAndre Swift over 16.5 rushing yards. Daniel Jones over 250 passing yards. Aaron Jones under 33.5 rushing yards, and Kamani Vidal over 16.5 rushing carries at minus 133.
Awesome. That's how we're going to make money. Go check out the college football episode, and we will see y'all next week.